Well, let's get on with the details of those stories now. There is growing tension in the Bono region as the chiefs and people of Nkranza Traditional Council accuse the Minister for Regional Reorganization and Development, Dan Boche, as well as his deputy, Martin J. Kosa, of working against them as government gets ready to name the new regional capitals. The chiefs believe that the central location of Nkranza makes it well placed and accessible enough to be named the Bono East Regional Capital. They have been addressing the media where they reminded, or where they sought to remind the president and the NPP administration that the capital ought to be in Bono East. That if the capital of Bono East is not located at a place to meet the aspirations and wishes of the region, it will have consequences on the fortunes of the party in the next elections.
It is a choice of the president and the minister and his deputy of regional reorganization and development. We believe that it will be wrong to carry out only these factors in deciding the location of the regional capital. Why are we not looking at the landmass, looking at the population, looking at the security, looking at the availability of the natural resources, and more importantly, the centrality and accessibility. Among others are more important considerations. It will therefore be wrong to limit the selection criteria to an already developed area, which will defeat the original and the purpose of the Bono East creation. Nkranza traditional area are also concerned and worried about the statement circulating in the social media purporting that the people of Nkranza traditional area are Ashantis, and therefore naming Nkranza as the capital of Bono East region will mean an extension of Asante Kingdom into the Bono East region. This statement is unfortunate because before February 1979, the whole of Bono Ahafo region was part of Western Asante.
So that is the chief of for the Nkranza Traditional Council there speaking earlier at a press briefing. Well, let's get there now and speak to our correspondent on the ground, Precious Semevo. He joins me over the telephone lines now. Hello, Precious. Precious, can you hear me? Hello, Precious.
Yeah, hello, Gissy.
Very well. Now, we've heard what the Traditional Council has to say. Let me find out whether or not there's been a response so far from government.
As at now, no. There hasn't been an official government, except to say that on Thursday, the 7th of February, when the Minister for Regional Reorganization and Development, Dan Boche, and his deputy, as well as the regional minister, met the chiefs from Bono East and then Ahafo at a residency in Sunyani. Now, he said something to the effect that the location of the regional capital, unlike previously, where regional capital should have some government, key government facilities like regional hospitals, regional police headquarters, regional immigration office, and the like, the situation will be different now, where he assured the chiefs that all districts will have a feel of government, facilities and to appease them.
Okay. Well, Precious, hold on for me. I'll come to you momentarily. Let's get some responses from the minister himself. Mr. Dan Boche joins us on the line now. Mr. Boche, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Have you heard what's happening in the proposed Bono East region?
Come again?
Have you heard what's happening in the proposed Bono East region?
What exactly is happening?
The chiefs have been up in arms. They've been addressing a press conference at which they accuse you of not involving them in the process of naming the capital.
There's nothing like involving somebody in the process of naming the capital. It's the president's prerogative to choose where the capital will be. The president does his own consultations, and then at the end of the day, he will put out where the capital will be. And Mr. President, I'm sure, has done that or is still doing that. And from tomorrow going, as he meets the chiefs who come to the Jubilee House, and he gives the CI, he will also state where the capital will be. So a lot of consultations are taking place. That is a prerogative of Mr. President.
The chiefs of Nkranza and those everybody else in the Nkranza Traditional Council seem to believe that they have not been involved as much.
As I've told you, I don't know which formula one is using to determine the involvement. Whether they should go from each traditional area, there should be a forum to determine that. They have all presented their petitions, stating the reason why they should be considered for the capital, regional capital. It has all got to the attention of His Excellency, and I'm saying that it's the duty of prerogative of His Excellency the President to choose the capital, and that he will do.
Well, I'm very sure that you have the details. I mean, what's the capital going to be?
No, that's for Mr. President. As he signed the CI, he will indicate that. And no, these tactics, I don't think will go to as it were influence decisions that will be made. And many of the things that have been said by in the press conference are totally baseless. They are untrue, and I feel embarrassed that people who occupy very revered positions will put out statements that are totally untrue and baseless. I cannot for my life believe that. Because they are talking of me, myself, visiting Techimai. I passed through Techimai. Even 4 days, 5 days ago, I passed through from the Tamale. I don't go there to do anything. I haven't been there. So I don't know where that information is coming from. In any case, if somebody has to be biased, I have to go there before it becomes biased. I just don't get the hell and tail of that. Again, they are saying that some name was changed and they were not invited. No name has been changed. I have the original petition that the title was Coalition of Chiefs from Bono East. They use the word Bono East, B-O-N-O East. And the acting president of Nkranza Council signed that petition before the Commission of Inquiry. If you get to know, it is Bono East. At no point was there a meeting to change it from Bong to Mono and that they were not invited. It's just not true. It couldn't have happened because they themselves signed the original petition and they called it Coalition of Bono East Chiefs. So I just cannot understand what they are trying to put across. It has actually no basis. It's all based on falsehood, and I don't know why they want to go by that route.
You call this tactics. You say what they've done for example, the press
obviously.
conference.
Yes, they think that there's some interest people have shown in the capital, so maybe you have to position yourself strongly, so maybe Mr. President will hear of you and consider you. That certainly is tactics. Other than that, what is the basis for it? We are doing this. There are 6 regions, and the focus is getting government closer to the people and also accelerated development. We are not creating, Mr. President, or for that matter, government is not creating regions because of capital. No, that's not the reason. So why will anybody think that the whole focus should be on where the regional capital will be? When they requested for the region and asked for a new region to be created for them, they were talking about bringing government closer to the people and also accelerated development. The issue was in capital. I'm unable to see how all of a sudden the issue of capital have become something that even people will have to state on truth in order to put their case across. It's unfortunate.
Well, don't you think now that's because they foresee that if Nkranza becomes a capital, for example, that all of the infrastructure that helps for governance will be situated there, and that brings them some level of development.
Yes,
some level of development which they are not confident of getting should they lose the regional capital status.
That will therefore apply to all other cities. They are by 11 districts, and all the district capitals, in the Bono East, they all qualify to become regional capitals. So would that argument not also go for all the other 10 regional district capitals, and even those other capitals that are towns that are not district capitals? Because we had situations where some towns that are not district capitals have also applied to become regional capitals. So it means that all major towns in that enclave also qualify to be regional capitals. So should each of them also hold a demonstration that we also want? If we don't get it, then nobody else should get it. Please. How can we encourage such a thing in this country?
So you called it, you say
and
it's...
again, what I was trying to drive home, we're waiting for Mr. President to start speaking from tomorrow, and you'll get to know.
And that's just happening tomorrow. That's just happening tomorrow. It's quite curious that you're not aware of I mean, which part of this area is going to be the capital. You have no idea at all?
There's a big difference between Mr. President and the minister. When something is Mr. President who is signing his signature to issue the CI, and as he read the CI, he states the capital. So if he hasn't done, he hasn't informed me yet about that, it's not strange. But I'm saying that they will begin to know that those times, or in times past where almost all the major heads of institutions were in the capital city, there'll be a change. It does not follow that we are going to have something like a regional hospital necessarily in the capital. We are going to have the regional, the university or polytechnic in the capital. No, that's not going to be the case now. And maybe when Mr. President rolls things out and we begin to implement them, people will appreciate it. That the fact that you are a regional capital, that means that you are all major heads of institutions and all the other infrastructure is going to be centered in the capital. There's going to be a major shift from that policy. So
what it means from what you're saying is that there's going to be development spread across the board so that each of these
across the board, yes, and this has been made known to them.
It doesn't look like that has been communicated well enough for the people.
It has to be communicated well, because in any case, it's the basis for their petition, that they were far away from the center, and therefore that's where they have been deprived, and more government seemed to be far away from them, and much attention was not paid to their needs. And so in this case, you're going to have a situation where different government structures will be hosted in different parts of the region, so that each part of the region, this new region, will feel that, yes, government is closer to them. And as I repeated, it's for Mr. President to announce. I don't want to be the first person to...
Very well. That's barely 24 hours away. If you say you don't know, we'll wait to get it from the president. But you say that you say that their actions are baseless, are untrue. Why would they employ what you're calling tactics at this point when the announcement is just happening tomorrow?
Because the thing that they have said that Connect X are untrue.
They say you are manipulating the process.
But that's what I'm saying. It's untrue. How's the process? Because Mr. President announces the capital, period. That's all. He is a CI. He's got the process of getting the region. They petitioned. They have been involved. They've been to Accra to meet the Commission of Inquiry. They were involved in that. The Commission of Inquiry came to their region. They toured the whole place. They held public fora, and they expressed their views. All that has been done. The Commission has presented their report. That is the process. Maybe that's the process we are helped to manipulate for them to get the region. So I don't know of any other process that we have to go to manipulate for anybody to get a capital. I cannot think of it, because the capital is decided by only Mr. President after consultation with other people who are key to helping to make this.
So you say consultations with other people who are key. The chiefs and people of Nkranza think that they were not a part of that consultation process. Were they a part of it? Did you include them?
I keep telling you that it's not as if you go around once you present a petition. And
no, I just want to find out whether, because this is an allegation that they made, so we just want to find out.
There is no process where Mr. President goes or sends people from one traditional area to one traditional area to ask you whether you want to get a capital. It's not done. So you cannot talk of that.
But you just said that you consulted some people.
I can't hear you.
You just said that you've consulted. Some people have been, there's been some level of
Mr. President takes a decision, he makes consultations.
But not with the people
Mr. President takes his decision, he makes consultations. Unless you are saying that Mr. President should tell you who and who he consulted. I don't think you are asking that.
Well, some people are saying they are part of the people and they have not been consulted. And I'm asking you whether or not these people have indeed not been consulted.
How can you understand that? When Mr. President makes consultations, he should list all the people he consulted.
So now that they've gone on the streets, now that they hit the streets,
in the enclave, he should list all those he has spoken to and other technical people who he has sought advice from.
So, Mr. Bosher, now that they've been on the street, they've gone organized this press conference to air their concerns. Have you reached out to them? Do you have plans of reaching out to them?
No, I don't have any plans to do that.
Well, why not?
Yeah, because it's not addressed to me. It's addressed to Mr. President.
Okay. So thank you very much for your time this afternoon here on the Pulse. Dan Boche there is a minister in charge of the regional reintegration there, and he's saying that the allegations or the accusations being leveled against him by the people, the chiefs and people of Nkranza Traditional Council are baseless, they are untrue, and he is describing it as some kind of tactics they're employing to get the regional capital given them. He is, by the way, not saying whether or not Nkranza is going to be the regional capital. He also has not said which one would be. He says that is the president's prerogative, and we will hear from the president in barely 24 hours. In the meantime, the youth is calling on President Akufo-Addo to ensure that promises made to them on the selection of the Bono East capital are fulfilled.
Nana Akufo-Addo told us he was going to divide the Bono Ahafo region and give us the Bono East region. We were overjoyed and voted massively for the referendum. We were persuaded by the fact that Nkranza, having a bigger territory, would be considered for the regional capital. After submitting petitions to the president through the Honorable Minister Dan Boche for the selection of the regional capital, we realized that Nkranza has been left out. We sincerely believe Nkranza has been deliberately eliminated from the process. We want to tell the Honorable Dan Boche and Ejie Kwasa that the capital belongs to Nkranza and nothing else. The Omahini of Nkranza has been a two-time president of the Regional House of Chiefs. They asked us to vote against John Mahama, and we did, and we want to tell them that we will not be cheated if they refuse to make Nkranza the capital.
Doesn't look like much response from for them from the regional, from the minister in charge, but barely 24 hours, and we'll be hearing from the president on that matter.